Okay, how are you?
Good.
Excellent. Well, I got behind on making the recordings, and this afternoon when I was doing it, I went back and I looked at what did we read for the last 3 times, and what words did we talk about, and what kind of made up words. This is a science fiction book, which means they're using technology and inventions and ideas that haven't even happened yet, right? They are just making them up in their imagination. And so some of those words are hard to understand. And then also they're using some words that are real, but they're using them in ways that are not real. And as I was looking at the list of words we have talked about, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be great if we could look at some pictures of these things? So I looked for some pictures that I'm going to share with you. So these words that I'm going to talk about, we have already talked about them before. All right, so the first one, and I'll share this project with you later. You can get it from Google Drive, okay? So this first one is called a circuit. You see this word right here? See,
Yes.
it almost looks like the word circus. A circuit, we usually talk about an electric circuit. And I don't know if you've made one of these in school yet. I think when Kristen was in 3rd grade or 4th grade, she got to make her own electric circuit. And when they use the word circuit, an electric circuit, what they're talking about is how to make this light bulb go on, okay? And you have to have these, you use a battery here, and the battery has a positive side and a negative side, and you have a switch. And what makes it a circuit is that it's a circle. It connects. There's no opening. It has to be all connected in order for it to work. Okay, so another picture of one here is this one. So you can see also that it's a circle, right? It's all connected. So here's the light bulb. Here's the battery. Here are the wires. It connects from this positive wire to the positive end of the battery to this side of the light bulb. And then from the negative end of the battery comes over here to the switch. And then that connects to the light bulb. So the switch, if it goes down, then it's all connected and the light will go on. But if the switch goes up, then it's not all connected and the light will go off. And that's called a circuit, an electric circuit, okay? The next word is engine. And so you can see in this car right here, oops, hang on. Okay, you can see here in this car that there's an engine, right? So if you lift up the front hood of the car, then you would see an engine. Some cars have fancier engines than other cars, but an engine is what makes it go. This is what we call a person who works on an engine is called a mechanic. So this person who's working on this engine, the job is a mechanic. Now this engine actually, when I found it, it was like animated, but it doesn't work that way and explain everything. So I'm going to try clicking on this link here. And see. Well, maybe that's not going to work. I thought it might work. All right, let me see if I can find engine. Here it is. Okay, so here you can see the engine's actually moving, right? All of the parts move and it makes something go, right? So usually when I think of an engine, I think of a car engine and it makes the car go. When I was in, I think 8th grade, I needed to bring a lawnmower engine to school, take it apart, and then put it back together again. That's what I had to do for my class. The lawnmower engine did not look like this one. Okay, then this is called a bolt.
And what is it?
All right, I don't need that picture again. I brought that picture in here. Okay, so this one is a bolt. And then this one also has a bolt, and then it has the, I don't know, I think that might be called a nut or a washer. I think a nut maybe. But the bolt.
Like this, you put the inside and you put the nut back here.
Yes, right, exactly.
And it will not move.
That's
It
right.
will not get down.
That's right. So this piece here is called the bolt. Okay, now we're going to look at antenna. So antenna is the arrow is pointing at the antenna. So that's the antenna of that bug. This, where's my other antenna? This one right here has very long antenna.
Oh, I know how it.
Oops. This one is showing, I think, a crab, and you can see it has antenna right here. But I also wanted to show you this part, which is the claw. Okay, it's the part that goes right here, claw. And then the last picture I wanted to show on this page was the tentacles of the octopus. Okay, so that's an octopus, and you can see these are the tentacles, and the tentacles have suction cups on them. Okay. So these are when his cousin Trap was wearing that mask to make himself look like the hideous beast. Part of the mask or the costume, I think, included tentacles or antenna or claws. I'm not sure. We've heard all of those words. Antenna. That's two pictures of antenna, and tentacles and the claw. Okay.
Okay.
Now this one is the hardest one. They are talking about, this whole story, they are in search of an element. I think they call it, I don't know, Tetrastellium or something. I have to go back and see what they call it. But that's made up. They're just, it's from their imagination, okay? However, elements are not made up. So on Earth, there are these elements. So you're seeing a picture of them right here. Okay, so this is how many in all of Earth. These are the number of elements that we have, no more, no less. Okay, and everything on Earth, including in our body, is made up of a combination of these elements. Some of these elements are gas, which means they're just in the air, we can't see it. Some of them are like rocks or gems or things that we can find inside a mountain. And most of the things, or actually all of the things that we use in life, are made up of these different elements. And when you learn about how these elements can react with each other and how you can use them to make different things, that's a type of science called chemistry. And the way that they show all of these elements is in something called a periodic table. So I have a bunch of pictures here that I'm going to show you. And then when I send the project to you, you can look at the slide more closely, okay? And if you are interested, the next time you are at my house, I have many books on the periodic table of elements, and you are welcome to look at them. So the first one I want to show you is this one. This one says, what is an element? Okay, so an element is a pure substance, which means it's only made of one thing. And what's very important is this sentence right here that says, an element cannot be broken using any chemical means. Okay, so there's nothing you can do to break an element. And so this is how they always show it, like this, with these different colors and these different letters and in this shape. This is called the periodic table of elements. But you can see this one, it's the same thing. It has the same letters, the same numbers, the same order. It's organized the same way. But in this one, they are showing you pictures of things. So for example, you could see this one right here. This has Cu, that's copper. This one right here, that says Ni, that's nickel. This one right here that says Au, that's gold. I was trying to find, I thought Ag was silver. Where is Ag? Saw that when we were looking at that the other day. Now that I'm looking.
Ag. What number is Ag?
You know, I can't find it now. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. It's right above gold. Yeah, it's silver. I was right. This one, Ag, that's silver. So that's silver, and the one below it is gold. This picture is not very clear. It's a little bit fuzzy, but all right. So, oops. Let me put that over here and this one over here. I have a few different pictures to show you. This one here is another one that's kind of neat. Now you can see it's made up with the same organization, the same order, has the same letters, the same numbers, everything is the same, but every picture is showing us something that's made out of that element. So for example, right here, here's the Ag, which is silver, and it's showing us a ring that's made out of silver. This one is the Au, which is gold, and it's showing us a crown that is made out of gold. This one is, the CD is cadmium, and paint is made out of cadmium. So this one shows copper, and electrical wires are made out of copper. So it shows, you know, like here's a picture of a bridge, and Fe is iron, and a bridge is made out of iron. So each one of these shows, each of the pictures shows some things that are made out of, as an example, that are made out of that element. All right, oops. Is that the last one? No, okay. This one is just showing the oxygen. Oxygen is it's this one right here. This one is oxygen. Oxygen is in the air.
8.
Right? It's number 8. It's something we have to breathe in. And this one is just showing us, you can see here that it's number 8. And this is the word, and it's just shown by the letter O. And it tells us that it's a gas. Right here, it says that it's a gas, and that we need it for breathing, and that you can find it in water, and humans need it to stay alive. Okay. So that's something about oxygen. This one is hydrogen. Hydrogen is number 1. So if we look at this, hydrogen is going to be right over here, number 1. And why is that not setting? Okay. Hydrogen is the most common and lightest element in space, and it has incredible power. It has the power to drive a rocket. So hydrogen is really, really powerful. This is showing, I think, actually, we just looked at this one, but it's not so blurry. But remember, we looked here at the Ag for silver and the Au for gold. Hg is mercury, and that's what are in thermometers. So this one will show the pictures a little bit more clearly, but not the whole table, not the whole thing, just some of them. This one is a really famous book. I think I have this book. And this guy, his name's Theodore Gray. He has made this book, and they have real life pictures of each element. And so you can actually see what it looks like. So for example, this one, number 14 is silicon, 15 is phosphorus, 16 is sulfur, 17 is chlorine, and so forth. So you can see what these different elements look like. And then, let me see what's on the next page. This one is, I'm going to say one more thing about elements before we finish, but this one is, do you remember they talked about the mouseoid? And I said the mouseoid kind of sounds like an android. And an android is sort of a science fiction thing because they don't exist yet. I think they're a robot with artificial intelligence, which means a robot that can think for itself. So people have invented robots and people are working on AI or artificial intelligence, but I don't think that, I mean, if people have invented a robot that can think for itself, I don't know about it. It must be top secret, but that would be an android, and I think that these are examples of that. We also talked about photosynthesis. So photosynthesis, you can see right here is the word photosynthesis. And this is it's the way that a plant, it could be a flower or a tree, but it's how it makes its own food so that it doesn't need to go to the grocery store or order Uber Eats. It can just make its own food. And how it does it is it has to get sunlight. It has to get out of the air a gas that's called carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide looks like this. It's a capital C, capital O, and then a 2. And if we went back to the periodic table of elements, that means it needs 2 of these. That was number 8, right? It needs 2 of those, and it needs 1 of these. I think that might have been number 16, but I can't remember for sure. So it would take 1 atom of carbon, and it would take 2 oxygen. I don't know if it looks like that or not, but that would be called carbon dioxide. And that's in the air. Actually, we breathe it out. When we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. And then a plant does the opposite. A plant breathes in carbon dioxide and it breathes.
And they give us air.
Yeah, so see how here? Oxygen, this is oxygen. So the plant breathes out oxygen and then we breathe it in. And then we breathe out carbon dioxide and the plant breathes it in. So plants and people help each other. So when a plant breathes in the carbon dioxide and gets sunshine and gets water coming up from its roots, then it's able to make its own food. And that food is called glucose. That's what it's called. So that is photosynthesis. And this is just one more picture of it here, where you can see, here's the plant. It brings in water from the roots, carbon dioxide from the air, sunlight. And then what it does is it sends out oxygen for us to breathe in. And it also can make its own food. This picture doesn't show the name of the food. So this picture is a little better. The name of the food is glucose, which is actually a kind of sugar. So plant food, the kind of food that a plant makes, is a kind of sugar, actually. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show you was this website. I'm not sure if it's going to work if I click on it. Huh. I will send it to you. Do you have huh?
No, is it on Google?
Do you have Line on that computer?
Yes.
You do? So if I send it to the Line, can you click on it? If I send it to the Line, can you click on it on that computer?
Okay.
All right, let me send it. Well, actually, I'll send it in just, hang on.
Yeah.
Huh?
You will send here. You'll send it here.
Yeah, do you have Line on your?
I will use my iPad. I'll use my iPad.
But is Line on it? I just sent.
You?
I just sent it to your mom's line.
Okay.
You see it? I'll show you here what it looks like. I'm going to bring it up on my iPad again.
You said this?
Yep, that's it. Now how this works, Archie, is all you have to do is touch any one of those boxes, and then it will show you some information about it. Okay, so for example, if you find the ring made out of silver, that's number 47. If I touch that, then it will tell me information about it. It will tell me that it's soft, shiny metal. It's good for
Me.
what? It's good.
No.
Does it work?
Did it work? It worked.
Did you click on silver jewelry, number 47?
Yes.
And then it shows you the picture a little bit. Let's find number 8. Can you find oxygen, number 8?
Yes.
And see, that shows us that it's air. Let's see if we can find, how about iron, number 26. That's Fe.
Number 26.
Mhm. Iron is in steel structures, magnets, red rocks. It's even in.
Number 26.
Did you find it? It's a bridge.
Yes.
Iron is even in our blood.
Yes.
Can you find number 38?
Yes.
You see the fireworks?
Yes. 38.
Mhm. This is a soft metal. It's in red fireworks.
38.
Let's try number 82.
I will find it. Where's 82? 82. 82. Where are you?
It's in the
Oh, lead.
Did you find it? It's lead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, we'll do one more. Can you find number 2?
Yes. Number 2. I find it.
Okay, that's helium. That's the gas that they put in balloons when the balloons can go up in the air and not fall down. It's called helium. Here, I have 2 more I want to show you. One is number 11. Can you find number 11?
Yes.
Number 11 is sodium. That's part of salt. If you like to put salt on food, then there's some sodium in it. And the one right under that is number 19. Do you see number 19?
Yes.
Number 19 is called potassium. This is something that is in a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we eat, like bananas and carrots and peas. So all of the things that you see on this whole page are elements. And all together, They're called the periodic table of the elements. And you probably will not hear about them again until you are in, I don't know, 8th grade, maybe 5th grade, 8th grade, 10th grade, probably not in 2nd grade. But everything in the world is made up of these different elements. So I'm going to move to Geronimo here. Let me head out of this. Geronimo. Okay. And they are looking for this element that they think is on planet Ratos, and they think it's going to save their spaceship from having the engine explode. Right? Although, one of these characters.
Well, on the page, they are eating.
Yeah, I'll go there in just a minute. But I wanted to remind us, there was something interesting that happened back here when we were meeting Professor Greenfur. And the thing that was
he can turn into a bush. He can turn into a bush.
Right, because he's from this other planet. But I remember Geronimo was telling him that they're going on this, mission to planet Ratos to get this element called right here, Tetrastellium. Oops, I didn't mean to use black. Tetrastellium, that's a made up word. Okay, that's not on the periodic table of elements. This is not an element that is on planet Earth. And he tells this guy, Professor Greenfur, that they're going to go to planet Ratos to get this element to save their spaceship so that it won't explode. And what I found interesting was that Professor Greenfur said, I'm surprised to hear that we're running low on Tetrastellium. He says it lasts for centuries. Well, we learned that 1 century is how many years?
100.
100. So if this is more than 1 century, right? There's an IES here, which means more than 1. So 1 century would be 100 years. What would 2 centuries be?
Oh, 200 years.
200 years. What would 3 centuries be?
300.
Okay, so that would be 300 years. So do you think that Geronimo and Grandfather and the different characters have been alive for 300 years?
No.
No. So do you think it really makes sense that their Tetrastellium is like running out, like that it's going, because this is what Greenfur is saying. He's saying, this is kind of confusing because Tetrastellium, that'll last for centuries, more than 1 century, 200 years, 300 years, 800 years. If it lasts that long, then does it really make sense what Grandfather said? He said they're running out of Tetrastellium, and because they're running out, that the engine's going to explode. And Greenfur is saying, well, that doesn't really make sense because Tetrastellium can last for centuries. So I think there's a little bit of a mystery here. I think that we have to remember this page when we come near the end of the story. All right, so they are in the cafeteria eating, and I think we left off with fluorescent stains, right? Where the cook had tentacles, claws, arms, 3 eyes, and an apron speckled with mysterious fluorescent stains, right? Is that where we are? Or did we go a little further? Let's see. So the cook says to Captain Geronimo, he says, hello, Captain, I'm Squizzy, the ship's new cook. He introduced himself. Please make yourself comfortable. I can't wait for you to taste all the fantastic alien specialties that I can make. Do you know what that means if you go to a restaurant and the chef comes out and says, oh, I hope you try my specialty? Do you know what that means?
Oh, I know.
It means something that he's really famous for, something that he's really good at making. You know, maybe one of the things that he makes the best. Maybe something that not very many people know how to make. You know, something that he can do special. But what does Geronimo say? Geronimo says, actually, I'm not very hungry today, I said. Is that true? Is Geronimo telling the truth? He says, I'm not hungry. Is that true?
No.
No, because did he eat his breakfast that day? Remember what he wanted for breakfast?
No, he didn't eat breakfast.
Right,
He didn't eat lunch. He didn't eat.
He has not eaten anything. He skipped breakfast because his grandfather ate his breakfast. So he's actually very hungry. So why is he telling the cook that he's not hungry?
Because he didn't want to eat that.
He didn't want to eat this food that looks like it's been made, I think he said, for
And when Geronimo are eating, there are someone will set yellow tongue.
So let's see. But Cook Squizzy wouldn't back down. That means he won't take no for an answer. He says, I insist, Captain. You can't say no to me. I insist, he said. Please sit down. I'll serve you in a moment. But he didn't even take our orders, I whispered to Trap. How does he know what I want? Do you think that Geronimo is feeling just a little bit worried?
Yes.
I would be worried if I was him. It's obvious, cuz, Trap replied. Do you see how Trap here is saying cuz?
Cousin.
That's right. And it's not the right spelling, but the way we write cousin is like this, but we say it cuz. So he's kind of shortening, like a nickname. He's saying cuz. It's obvious, cuz, Trap replied. He doesn't. He doesn't what? Oh, he doesn't know, right? So Geronimo says, how does he know what I want? And Trap says, he doesn't know what you want. But our grandfather, Admiral William, told him you haven't been eating enough healthy foods lately. Uh-oh. So you're on a seaweed only meal plan. Uh-oh. I, on the other hand, will have a nice cheddar shake with chocolate space sprinkles as usual. Oh, great. Geronimo's grandfather told the cook that he needs to eat healthier, seaweed only. But his cousin Trap, did you see how big Trap looked?
Oh, very fat.
Yeah, and he gets that shake with cheese and chocolate sprinkles. Yeah, here's Trap. Does Trap look like he needs to eat more milkshakes with cheese and chocolate sprinkles?
No.
Boy, I don't know that Trap is very nice. I'm a little bit afraid to see what Geronimo's food is going to look like. Well, oh my goodness, look at this cook. Here's the antenna, here's the tentacles, here's the claws, and here's the splotches, stains of fluorescent something on his apron. And he has oh, this is not his antenna, this is his 3 eyes. Where is his antenna?
He didn't have.
I think not.
Yeah.
So what does it say? Well, he's an alien. He comes from the planet Brie. That's actually a name of a cheese. His specialty is experimental cuisine, which means trying out new things that no one else has ever tried before. He believes he's a great chef. He has 2 arms, 2 claws, 2 tentacles, 2 wings, and 3 Eyes. Let's see here. As soon as we know what Geronimo is going to have to eat, we will we'll stop here. Martian mozzarella, I squeaked. I want a cheddar shake with chocolate space sprinkles too, but the cook interrupted me. Here you are, Squizzy said. I've made you a soup out of blue seaweed from Vega. It's very healthy. Admiral Williams orders. Let's see what it looks like. This is called the Spacemice Cafe. What's that?
It's next page we can see Geronimo.
Let me see what it says here. It's the perfect spot for a space mouse who wants to relax with a tasty snack or a fine dinner. Squizzy the cook specializes in delicacies such as blue seaweed soup, moon dust pasta, and cheddar shakes with chocolate space sprinkles. So there we can see, actually, I don't think that's them. I think that's some other people at the cafe. All right, here, I see blue seaweed soup. Uh-oh, look at Geronimo's face. He looks like he has his hand over his mouth. He looks like he doesn't plan on opening his mouth. Look at the smoke coming out of that blue seaweed soup. Look, the smoke looks like it has a pair of eyes on it. I don't know that looks very good to me, but Trap sure looks happy. Boy. Poor Geronimo. I don't know what I would not eat that. Would you eat that?
No.
All right. Look where we're going to leave off here. Look what is the title of the
I
next.
just said someone will set yellow alert.
And look what the name of the chapter is. A real live yellow alert. All right, what color should we do the star today?
Blue.
Blue?
B-L-U-E.
All righty. So tomorrow we're going to have a real live yellow alert. So for today, we're going to say so long.
So long.
Cheddar chip.
Nope.
No? So long what?
Cafeteria.